we shall be talking about Peter Obi's interview. He had an interview about I think earlier in the week. It was an extensive interview where so many points were made, and sounded interesting to me and probably to vast majority of Nigerians. So on this interview, he's never been this swift, direct, and sincere. Honestly, when I watched it, like I said, I've not been watching Peter Obi speak because I lost interest in him after I just thought he was supposed to do what he was supposed to do, but he didn't do it. But for whatever reason, I just decided to watch that interview. And that interview it sounded so good to me. Let me play the interview. There are just highlights. There are high points of the interview. I think it's up to about I think it's about 5 minutes play. We may not finish play all, but let's see how it goes. Thereafter, we'll come back to talk about it.
Today, I'm a Labour Party member, and I remain in Labour Party. So I'm going to contest for the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and I believe I'm qualified for it. I'm part of a coalition which will be able to produce a competent president with the capacity, compassion to save this country. So we're going to do it by all lawful means to make sure, because we've seen the failure, we've seen the incompetence of the government, we've seen they don't have the capacity to do the job. So as President of Nigeria, I'll bring civility and order in governance. I will appoint competent persons with capacity and compassion for good of Nigeria. So I'm not going to be Minister of Petroleum, like it's been. Every ministry will have substantive minister who is competent. It is more important for Nigeria to invest in education than oil. The human capital of Nigeria, considering its population, is a huge asset. I will make sure that hands-on, I know anything that happens about health of Nigerians, starting from primary health care, ensuring we increase the insurance coverage, where the rich will pay, where the poor will benefit, and everything. Several children died in a battle. The president of Nigeria flew from Abuja to Lagos for Christmas holidays. Saying, I will not do it. I'll go to Ibadan. I will go and look for their parents and cry with them. In Benue, he was not there for days. So I will go the first day. Is commissioning road more important than our soldiers that are dying? I will not use 150 billion to buy a jet when 80% of our primary health care centers are not functioning. I was a governor for my first 4 years. I drove 406. For the rest of it, I didn't drive bulletproof cars. Nobody decided to kill you. You're doing the right thing. If your people are dying, you should be ready to die. As at the time we are left, so our debt was about 80 trillion. Today we're almost 180 trillion. These are part of the laws I want to change. We must now make a law that all borrowing must be for investment. And I want to move this country from consumption to production, for example. So I'll borrow to finance education. I'll borrow to ensure that Nigerians have power. So we're not going to fix overnight. But remember what I said. Nobody expects 100% success. They want 100% effort. I want to see democracy thrive. I want people to understand. I want to listen to the opposition. Because they might have an idea that is superior to what I have. That is governance. It's only in this country that you put in competent people in a place because they're your relation or they know you. And that's what I'm clamoring for. We have voted for incompetence. We voted for tribe. We voted for religion. Let's vote for competence. I want them to trust me. The biggest asset of this country is in the north. The uncultivated land in the north. The criminality we face in the North today, I'll deal with it. So if I'm president, the North will celebrate me. I have an idea of the problem. I might not turn it around in the very first 1 year. But I can tell you, Sino, we can make more money from agriculture than we make from oil. Nigerian land is so fertile that we can grow anything.
Which one would you focus on?
All of them, simultaneously, because it's an investment. That's why I said I will borrow and put in investment. Nigeria has never lacked good policies. What it lacked is good and committed implementation. Our national hospital is supposed to be our #1 hospital. Go there, they have no equipment. It's all broken down. From day one, I will tackle the issue of security.
How would you do that?
We declare war. We've lost more people than countries at war. So let's go to war. Everything I've said, I did. As governor, when I was campaigning to be governor of Anambra State, I said I will fix education. I can show you education increased, it became better. Talk about corruption. See, we have fight corruption head on. I've had people now who say, oh, but you're corrupt. But I left 36 billion naira I would have stolen. I left $150 million I would have stolen.
All right, Barrister, you heard everything clearly, right? Yeah. He said so many things, suggested so many things, promised so many things. What do you think about everything he said? Do you believe that all the promises he made, that he can and he will do everything he said? Do you agree with all the points he made and the promises he made? Do you believe him?
First of all, everything that Peter Obi said in that interview, he has said it before. He has been saying the same thing again and again. He has not brought any new thing. It has been his campaign manifesto, his campaign promises throughout his time in politics. He has not said anything different. The issue with Nigeria, number one, as he identified, is not so much the policy, but the capacity to do the policy. Now, when we are going to choose who should lead us, we, instead of looking for the person with the actual capacity, we bring in religion, we bring in North and South divide, we bring in tribe, we bring in so many irrelevant factors. And that is why we are where we are today. I have said repeatedly, as between all the prominent politicians looking for the presidency today, by virtue of their antecedents, there's nobody, if we want to be honest, there's nobody comparable to Peter Obi. That is the truth. If you want to argue, you can argue, but if you want to be sincere with yourself, because the issue is, how did he comport himself when he was governor as against what other people did? If you say resources and attention of the country should be directed at its greatest problem, what is Nigeria's greatest problem? Corruption. Among all these candidates from Tinubu, from Kwankwaso, from Atiku Abubakar, from who else in the presidential race, everybody is started with corruption except Peter Obi. That's the truth. People who come up today to try to say he's corrupt have no shred of evidence. But all the other people, where did their money come from? If you take Tinubu, governor of Lagos State from 1999, look at what he is today, holding control of River State. If you take Atiku Abubakar from customs into private business, into vice president. If you take Kwankwaso, he has been governor 2 times. He has been minister of defense. If any money he has now can only have come from public treasury.
Yeah.
So if you put them together, number one, if you are talking of corruption, which is the number one enemy of Nigeria, the first thing we should focus on, you will choose Peter Obi. If you want to talk about setting a template for good governance, in terms of first being looking at, because governance is a trust, the money that is available to you as governor or president to spend is in trust. It's not your personal fund, it's in trust. And if you misuse or abuse that trust, if it were in law, the beneficiaries of the trust will take you to court to remove you on the basis of misuse or abuse of the trust. But when we give a president or governor, and that governor lines his pockets, lines the pockets of his children, lines the pockets of his relations, girlfriends, and others, nothing happens to them. Nobody can say that against Peter Obi. He laid the template. He showed that yes, when you are a governance, please look at this money that is entrusted to you as public trust. Spend it wisely. Wisely. Cut out the useless spending, the corruption that allows people to line their pockets. Cut them out. Cut out anything that is eating up on the public treasury without a corresponding benefit to the people. Cut it out. And he did that in so many areas. So if you are talking of capacity, if we must be candid and sincere, none of them has the capacity that Peter Obi have. People have talked about Tinubu and what he did in Lagos. And because they wanted to, it is as when Buhari was contesting, they have to brush him and present him as almost like an angel, when he was not. When it came to Tinubu, they also had to latch on to that and say, this man did magic in Lagos. There was no magic in Lagos. If you factor in what Lagos gets, or what Lagos was getting in terms of internal revenue, it was almost 30 times what Peter Obi was getting in Anambra State. So where is the basis to compare in development terms? But the first thing in Nigeria is to rearrange the governance, to stop people from stealing, to cut out projects and things that are a burden on the national treasury, on the national economy. Cut them out, streamline the government, make it efficient, make it cost effective. Let the loose ends be. This is what Peter Obi did in Anambra State. And that is the kind of president we want. Don't chop and don't allow other people to chop.
All right.
Then focus the government on delivering on your. When you do that, you have more resources to deliver on your promises. Your ministers and your aides, all you have appointed, they are going to queue in, because we have what we say, the body language of the leader, the body language of the president. Every other person, when they see that you are no nonsense in respect of transparency, they have to line up.
Yeah, he did that. He actually acted that on that is in Anambra State when he was a governor. Now,
that is what I'm trying to say.
Thank you so much, Barrister. In fact, you have nailed it. Actually, you really nailed it. I appreciate that you've said everything. But let me just add this. Now, Peter Obi, yes, everything he said there, he's been saying it. But when I watched that interview, I sensed the passion, the sincerity in him. He's been sincere, but honestly, he felt more sincere. I saw a man, I sensed a man with a lot of sincere frustration in the system. Anyway, that being said, I asked you a question. Do you agree with him? Do you believe him? Yes, you just affirmed that. And I think I'm absolutely 100% in line with what you've just said. And I believe him. I believe Peter will be 100%. I believe in his policy. I believe in his thoughts. I believe in everything he just said. I believe the promises he made that he will keep them. Because you ask me why, you just answered the question. Actually, the reason why I believe in him, because he actually did almost everything he said there, except very few things that only on federal level can he do that. And he did all. He actually accomplished everything. He did exactly, acted in the same way he just mentioned, all he said and the promises he made when he was a governor of Anambra State for 8 years. So now, the main point I want to make is this about Peter Obi. Honestly, I am so pained. I feel frustrated that the North, both the elites and the common man on the street, the northern masses, are not really, they don't look beyond sentiments. They are not seeing beyond Peter Obi. They are not seeing that thing that Peter Obi is bringing to the northern table. They are not seeing that Peter Obi, honestly, I am so pained that the North is not actually seeing the viability, the efficacy that Peter Obi will bring to the northern economy and the northern populace. I am telling you, there is no president. Honestly, if Peter Obi were to be president today, he will be the best thing that will ever happen to the North. He will be the best president for the North. Because I am telling you, I don't even know. The North will benefit more from Peter Obi than any other part of the region. All the parts will benefit. There's no doubt about that. But honestly, that thing that no president have exploited, that the North has, only Peter Obi will be the one to emphasize, to actually exploit it. You ask me why? Why do I believe? Because I believe what he said. I believe his promises. I believe his promises. I believe he will actualize them. He will at least attempt to do genuinely and sincerely try to implement them. Because his antecedents say so. Because what he did, he had already done in the past, says so. His personality says so, both in business and in government. So he has a proven track record of actually doing what he said, living what he said, living his thoughts, living his projections. Now, this agriculture we're talking about is the resources, the natural resources that God has blessed the North with, that no president has ever exploited these resources. Peter Obi will be the only president that will ever benefit, that will ever actually utilize that vast resources that the North, land resources that the North, that God blessed the North with. The North, if agriculture is utilized, I am telling you, the North is capable of feeding at least substantial part of Africa, that is, if not the entire Africa. And Peter Obi will bring that to the fore. He will bring that to implementation. I don't even know, honestly, the North, if I were Northerners, I will just put all my eggs in Peter Obi. Because Peter Obi will transform the North. He has been hammering of the emphasis, just like Donald Trump. What Donald Trump has been emphasizing on for the past 40 years. Remember the first interview he granted, what's her name? Oprah Winfrey. In the early 80s, for God's sake. Everything Donald Trump enumerated and complained about and lamented about, he consistently kept lamenting on it until he eventually became president. He never deviated. He never changed in his opinions. He never changed in his thoughts. The same thing is Peter Obi has been, they say emphasis. Emphasis connotes seriousness. Emphasis connotes passion. Emphasis connotes sincerity. Emphasis connotes conviction. That's exactly what Peter Obi has been doing over the years. He's been hammering on this agriculture. This agriculture that God has blessed the North with, but unfortunately, the Northerners are not utilizing it. That is the problem. So emphasis, he's been emphasizing on it. He's been passionate about it. He's been sincere and genuine about it. Like I said, emphasis connotes genuinity and sincerity. And that's exactly what Peter Obi has promised, and he will do that. I wish the North will go just beyond religious and regional sentiments. Just look beyond that and just sift the wheat from the chaff. Take the wheat and trash the chaff. That is just it. The chaff this time in this case the chaff is religious and regional sentiments. Let them take the wheat and better the lot of the North. Again, in general terms, honestly, Peter Obi is, just like you noted, he is the best so far among everyone that is out seeking for public office. He is by far, not even, no one comes close to him. No one. So he has proven it. His lifestyle proves it. His administrative style proves it. Everything around him proves it. He is genuine. There's no doubt about that. I have my own condemnations but of course he can't. No one is perfect. He's overwhelmingly his positive side overwhelmingly outweighs his negative side. He has just one negative, and to me, that negativity is just one, but though important. I don't want to talk about it here. I'll be talking about it in subsequent topics. But that's just it. Anyway, so honestly, I don't know, for people like Kenneth Okonkwo who are supporting Atiku, he must be a very dumb person. I don't know. For people, I don't know, for someone, anybody who supported Kenneth Okonkwo and now is turning around to support someone like Atiku, for God's sake, they are stark different from each other. Barrister, how would you, that's to tell you, this will prove to you the personalities or who these people, what is inside of them, what they are made of. If you supported Peter Obi and now you are turning around to support someone like Atiku, these are two people of two different, far apart people from different sides. Atiku is an endemically corrupt man. Peter Obi is the direct opposite of Atiku. Peter Obi is a saint in the Nigerian politics, in the Nigerian system, in the Nigerian environment. He can be considered to be a perfect man, a saint. Because anyone that does not have any traces, any iota of trace to EFCC, ICPC, that person in the Nigerian context can be considered to be a perfect man, a perfect public servant. And that is Peter Obi. He does not have not even a lacuna, what you call, what you lawyers call lacuna, something that can even attract EFCC to say, well, let's even look into what this thing is talking about. He doesn't even have that. There is no sign of such. That's to tell you how clean that man was and how clean he is, at least administratively. So he's the best we will ever have. Unfortunately, again, I have my reservation whether we will have him or not. I have my reservation about the election. I have my fears, my everything about the 2027 election. So, but that's not the point. That's not the point here. The point is that Peter Obi is the best by far. By far, he has been tested. He's been tried. He has proven his capability, his capacity, his competence, and that is my take on that. All right, Barrister, let's move to the.
Let me just say that Atiku Abubakar represents the old way of doing things, which we are seeking to run away from, because the old way is only sinking the country. It has not delivered.
Yeah.
We want a new way of looking at our problems. So Atiku Abubakar represents the old way of doing things, both in the nature of the manner things have been done before and in biological age. We want a generational shift, and we want a monumental shift from the way things have been done in Nigeria. And among all the people currently vying for the presidency, the only person who can deliver that monumental shift remains Peter Obi.